Origin and general characteristics of ancient Greece. Why do we start with ancient Greece? What is the relationship between the humanities and this ancient civilization that dates 2,500 years, 3,000 years? What is the connection between the Greek and our 21st century? That is precisely the key to access the understanding of the humanities. The name itself, as I mentioned, derives from the understanding, the recentering of the reflection upon the human being based on the existence of the human being in this world, particularly through reason. And in order to achieve that concept, what the Renaissance people did, they look at the Greek, they look at the Romans, because they found in those societies models to improve their situation, to explain better what they were living in the 14th, 15th centuries. So let's go back to the Greek, and we can visualize in this map some of the particular cities, the islands, the peninsulas in which these people lived for hundreds of years before the arrival of Christianity and even beyond. What we have here is a series of particular circles that mark the origin of this civilization. For example, Crete, in the island south of the peninsula, the Balkanic Peninsula. Some of the cities that are well known, for example, if you have seen the film 300, you will remember Sparta and Leonidas. You will also remember Athens and probably the Acropolis and Corinth. But also, if you remember the Iliad, it's not a Greek city, but Troy on the coast of current Turkey is pivotal to understand the rivalry between the southern tip of Europe and near Asia, which has been a rivalry that has lasted for thousands of years. And that contrasts the commerce, the disputes, the tensions between these two parts of the Aegean Sea have given birth to some of the greatest achievements of the Greek civilization. For example, some of their wonderful contributions is architecture, which helped to build our concept of classical architecture, classical art. Sobriety, linearity, simplicity. Some of the other contributions of the Greek are our concept of democracy, a word that comes from demos, people, kratos, power, the power of the people. But we have to remember, Greek democracy was not exactly what we understand today as democracy. They had slaves, and they didn't allow women to vote. So it was a very kind of selective democracy. We will talk about that at some point. Another important contribution is philosophy, philos, love, sophia, wisdom, knowledge, the love of knowledge, just for the sake of knowing more. Knowledge without utilitarian goals, knowledge for the pleasure of knowing, and also what we would call today literature, but at that time was basically understood as two genres, two verbal arts, epic poetry and tragedy. This is something that we're going to expand on, and that will help us understand why the Greek matter the day that we're talking here.